And Kirsty was great. I used to rehearse lines in her trailer with her for other auditions. And then I shot the scene where I kissed her. No, really. Yeah, camera went all the way around. Yeah, they were both great. They were both great.
I forgot what I was going to say. I was going to. Mark Harmon, in addition to being nice, is extremely loyal because he's used every one of us on his show. Oh no, he hasn't. Right, every show. But Kirstie Alley.
She used us.
Yeah, she. Yeah, it's awkward. It's really awkward. Kirstie Alley was fun to play Simon Says with because I would sometimes lead it and I would get her out immediately, and then she'd swear really a lot. She had a very foul mouth, really vile. Like I'd worked with Ray Walston, who had like words I'd never heard of, and she beat Ray Walston in a good way. It's very cool. I was impressed.
You guys know who Ray Walston is?
Yeah.
Right.
And the Martian guy too.
And the Martian, right?
Martin.
Right. Uncle Martin.
They don't want him to know that he's a Martian. But
It's gonna blow everything.
But they call him Uncle Martin.
He was so uptight. Martian was so uptight.
It's like
Hey, by the way, just
like
change the
Clark
subject.
Kent wearing glasses and not. Oh, that's not Superman.
Wait, Clark Kent is.
Yeah, I know.
Does anybody know about this whole Adam Sandler thing? Hello, are they remaking Summer School or no?
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
No.
Are they?
Okay.
Good. Okay.
That's too bad.
Robin.
I think Adam Sandler would have been a great shoot. Hello.
So okay, but I have two stories. One, how cool Mark is, and how cool Krista. I remember sitting with the grips between shots, and we would stack saltine crackers and try to eat a bunch of them in under a minute and whistle, right? Kirsty was like that. She was cool. You couldn't finish them. Six, and then
No water.
Right, and then try and whistle. And one great story was we all had to do a photo shoot for like the movie cover, right? And there was this guy who was the creative director for this setup, and he was not having a good day. You know, the chemicals weren't mixing right or whatever, too much of something else, and he just was really making all of us really, off balance. So then the publicist on that day, the next day, thought he'd play a prank on all of us and say, you know what, the pictures didn't take, you got to go back and do it again. Right? He was playing a trick on all of us. And we were all kind of like really, because that was the first bad day anybody was really having collectively on that movie that I can think of. And I was in the makeup trailer, and it was kind of a quiet day in the makeup trailer, and Carl comes in, and the PR guy's in there, and Carl squares off this guy. Now imagine your grandfather, the sweetest, kindest guy, suddenly in your face going, "Don't fuck with those kids! They're good kids, don't fuck with my kids!" And this guy's like backed up, against the side, and there's only one way to go, and that's through a window. And Carl was not letting him get out. And that was one moment I saw Carl. He really was like our father, our grandfather. He protected us. And then Mark's would always tie our backpacks together right before a shot. But one very cool thing about Harmon is that this is something that I don't know if anybody else has had this happen on a film when you work with some high-level talent. But Mark was pretty much at the top of his game at that time. And he called everybody up. I know he called me and he said, "Hey, your movie's coming out, break a leg." And that's really rare for a star to do the night of, to call everyone individually. Right. Well, he wanted to talk to me personally.
Yeah. His assistant called me.
Yeah.
On the set of NCIS, when
I work on NCIS,
You did work on it.
Oh, right, I've never been on that show.
So Robin, you were the romantic rival against the sexiest man alive for Kirstie Alley's affections in this movie.
Yeah, no.
What can you tell me about
I
working
was
with
the
that?
dickhead in this movie. No. That's exactly what I was. What can I tell you? First of all, I have to say, I was kind of like, I was the dickhead in the movie, all right? So to sit here with all these guys, who, they had all the fucking fun, my God, they had all the fun. I had to be the dickhead, but I did get to kiss Kirstie Alley, so that was my
we tortured him because I used to run around going, Phil Gill, Phil Gill, Phil Gill to him. And one day Dean goes, he really hates that you keep going, Phil Gill, Phil Gill, Phil Gill to him. Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
I used to bug you so much of that. Do you remember that?
Oh, I'm sorry, but I can't stop talking. We were talking about crazy fan stuff, and I asked Kirstie, I said, you must have gotten some weird fan letters for being a Vulcan, because she was the Vulcan in the Star Trek movie. And she said the only really bad letters were the ones who actually believed I was a Vulcan. So,
Do you have any other questions from the audience? You, sir?
So, Ken, how was it having to be somebody being asleep through most of the film? Was that
Such an acting experience. Really called upon a lot of training that I've had. College, being wasted. No, it was like about the easiest job in the world. Just lay there and look like you're sleeping. Okay, mostly I was. But the strip scene was the best part because it was like a big long chunk of day, and then after that it was just hanging out. The movie, one thing a lot of people didn't know is that that Mark had broken his collarbone on a beer commercial, right before shooting our movie. So you look at him on his rollerblades when he comes to bail us. Right? His one shoulder's kind of like this, and that's because it's completely screwed up, and he's in a lot of pain. So I had full props to Mark for sticking it out because he was bashed up. That was something I was going to think about. I'm having a senior moment now. It'll pass. Oh, so what happened was I play ice hockey, right? And I got the good fortune to play with a lot of NHL players on these celebrity things, right? And do you guys hockey fans? Anybody a hockey fan? Here, okay, Chris Pronger, right? Big, mean dude. He was we're on a team. We play in this summer league, kind of a fantasy camp, and he goes, "Who's this guy, Ken Olandt?" We're assigned teams. And he goes, "He's in summer school." He goes, Who's he in summer school? He goes, "He's the guy who slept with him." Larry? I'm hanging with Larry. So for the 4 days in Vegas, I had 6'6" Chris Pronger wearing the same shirt I'm wearing, walking around, pointing everybody out at the bar there. This Larry! Drinks for me, like a bodyguard. So I'm very grateful. That was off topic of Mark and Carl, sorry.
Does anyone have any stories about the release of the movie and how it was received?
yeah, I do. What a disappointment that was.
NCIS.
Fortunately, once I hit the third season on NCIS, I was able to retire.
It's still running.
I'm not on that show.
There's still a shot.
We were all young actors, and we were like going like that really fast. And this movie is going to be the thing. And so I was going to hire a publicist, and Paramount said, "Don't hire a publicist. We're going to take care of you. We're going to do we're going to make you guys are going to be huge." Da da da. The one PR thing did was Gary and I went to some teen club in Orange County and threw shirts to people. It was, and that was it.
All the chicks wanted Dean.
It was it. What?
All the girls wanted you, man.
No one knew who we were. We left. We had to go home. And then, but see what happened was that was the year of Lost Boys. That was the same. Lost Boys came out like a week before or something, and sort of just ended everything. Yeah. But Summer School lives on cable, and Lost Boys sucks my balls.
I remember Patrick had a party. It was a swim party at his house. We all got together. Do you remember this? Yeah, to watch this Ebert review the movie. Oh boy! And we were all thinking, okay, here
The
it
part of it
goes.
was this was before DVDs or DVRs or VA. I mean, nothing. So we had this party that happened to be my birthday. Happened to be the release date of the movie
In Northridge.
So, in Northridge, at my place. And so, hey, they're reviewing the movie. Let's watch the review. Live. In front of each other. And they did not like it.
In Spinal Tap, when they go, we're canceled in Boston. Oh, it's not a big college town. Okay, well, at least they said the name of the movie right, so that's good.
The other thing that made it really hard for us to capitalize on it was that there was this Writers Guild strike in 1988. And so our movie came out, and then all the writers weren't writing, and all the movies weren't being made, and no one was working. So that went on for 6 months, that strike, right? So that's when we would have been able to really, capitalize on that, and then we did it NCIS. So thank God that came along. Thank God for that.
Mark Harmon's loyalty to each and every one of us. And Kirsty and Carl, because we've all worked for Carl again. Several times, right? I haven't, but you guys, I know I have. Because that's what showbiz is about, that loyalty and looking out for
Each other.
bitter.
Any final stories you want to share with us before we watch the movie?
He has a question.
Well,
What am I supposed to shoot at?
Oh, Shoop.
On Shoop Street.
Junior high school.
Hughes.
Hughes High School, it's on Shoot.
Believe it or not, it's called Hughes Junior High on Shoot.
Yes.
And it's also a Karate Kid. It's also the Karate Kid High School. I think Paramount owned that school. I think they actually owned the school and they shut all their crap.
So I guess I have one last story, and this is mainly for Dean. I don't know if I've ever told you this story. So I did a show called Jag, where it's a military law show, and thank you.
Right, no, I did several episodes of that.
That's right, along with Mark. And it was by Don Belisario. And Don comes up to me at lunch one time, and we're having lunch, and he says, I'm wanting to do a spin-off, and I'm looking for a lead for the spin-off. And he was just telling me what he was doing that day. And I said, what kind of guy are you looking for? And he describes the guy, and I said, well, it sounds a lot like Harmon. And we talk, and he goes, no, because he's Don Belisario, and he's bigger than life and bigger than anybody. He goes, who's this Mark Harmon you're talking about? Had no idea. And at the time, he was on West Wing. I said, well, he's on West Wing, so why don't you take a look at him on West Wing? And so, sorry, dude. I guess I got Mark a job.
That's great, because that is paid off for all of us. Thank the Lord for NCIS.
You're not on NCIS.
What?
You're not on NCIS.
Well, he's going to call me any day now.
Were you on Jag?
No. But Patrick will call me any day now.
Ken was.
Ken was on
I
Jag.
did a Jag.
But I was on Patrick's has a new show on called that he's executive
Wait, you were
producing.
on his new show?
I was on his new show, but I'm unrecognizable.
He was on it.
But you can't tell it's me though.
He was what?
Zombie cop.
I'm a zombie cop. You can't tell.
Both Patrick both Dean and Richard were in movies that I made.
That's
Right?
true.
And
That
you
is
guys
true.
see Storm
That
with
is
Martin
true.
Sheen, Luke Perry, and
That's right.
right, Escape Under Pressure.
That's right.
And there's a YouTube video of me trying to blow myself that you can find. After 4 weeks of intense yoga.
Mark got you that part, right?
It was Mark's suggestion.
Dean, were you ever on Little House?
No, but I had sex with a girl who was.
We'll take one last question if anyone's got one. And no one's got one.
Why is it 1 o'clock and you're talking about NCIS?
Well, I want to thank you all for coming out. It's been an incredible night for all of us. Thanks for the movie.
Let's sing happy birthday to Brian, shall we? Quickly, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Brian. Happy birthday. I got you a box set of NCIS.
Enjoy summer school, everyone.